Hello, I'm Philip Martin, Senior Pastor and Head of Staff at Epiphany Lutheran Church. As you know, the landscape of the COVID pandemic is changing quickly as vaccination rates rise and as public health guidelines change. So I wanted to take a minute to update you about some upcoming changes here at Epiphany, especially in regard to worship. We currently hold 2 in-person worship services on Sunday mornings, 9 o'clock and 10:30. Beginning Sunday, May 16th, we will be increasing the attendance capacity at the 9 a.m. service to 24 pews, meaning we will be able to accommodate roughly 80 to 100 people, which is still less than half of our seating capacity. This 9 o'clock service will remain a spoken word service. Musical interludes will be included during times of reflection. Worshipers will be socially distanced and will be expected to wear face masks, which are steps we have been taking since we resumed in-person worship almost 10 months ago. Also on May 16th, we will begin adding limited singing to our 10:30 a.m. service. At first, we will only introduce the singing of 1 or 2 short liturgical pieces and a sending hymn outside as we exit the building. Eventually, as more and more people get vaccinated, we hope to increase the amount of singing inside the sanctuary. The attendance at that worship service for the time being will be limited to about 17 pews. Like our current practice, each pew can be reserved for one family or couple or individual. And like our current practice, face masks will be required. Once we have a chance to see the attendance trends on several Sundays, we may consider singing at both in-person worship services. It's all a step-by-step process, but we believe that taking some steps back toward normalcy is an important way to honor all the hard work and sacrifice that went into the development and distribution of these vaccines. So if you're not vaccinated yet, we hope you're planning on doing so. Friends, we are in an exciting but tricky time of this pandemic. It's hard to believe, but shutting everything down was actually easier to do than figuring out how to reopen. We want to help people obey God's third commandment, to keep the Sabbath holy and offer, as Martin Luther says in his small catechism, a time and place where people may gather around God's word together and gladly hear and learn it. At the same time, we don't want to commit to practices at this point that may put people at unnecessary risk. What we do know is that the greater the number of people getting vaccinated, especially in our congregation, the more quickly we are freed up to resume worship practices we're all comfortable with. The fact of the matter is that some of us are sick and tired of the restrictions and are ready to return to normal right now, while some of us still feel the restrictions offer all of us important protection. Amidst so many different opinions, can we be one community, one body together? Can we commit to letting compassion and personal sacrifice for one another influence our relationships? I think we can. We know that Jesus prays fervently for our unity, and nothing suggests he doesn't mean for that unity to apply also during a pandemic. I think we can learn something vital about our faith tradition by momentarily setting aside some of our preferences and expectations in order to be together as one. I think we may find that the Spirit will help us grow as individuals in our faith too. For me, this all feels a bit like watching how different people approach a pool in the summer. Some climb in from the ladder, others gradually dip in toe by toe in the shallow end. Still others like to just go straight for a cannonball in the deep end. Safely, of course, and without splashing too many others. Trying to manage all of those approaches and yet maintain respect for one another, a trust in God, and a sense of humor will be a critical way for maintaining our unity. Thank you for continuing this journey with us. I hope to see you in worship soon. Thanks be to God.